Alright then, it's time for the bonus features. We're gonna go through a bunch of the bonus, feature, bleh, bonus features today, and yeah. Also, I might be tripping over my words a little bit because yesterday I went to the dentist and yeah. But voice recitals.
Objection! Hold it! I'm sure everyone knows by now who it is. I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. I will become a lawyer.
Hold it! Susato Miko, yes, I fully understand. Prepare for a Susato takedown! Hey!
Objection!
Objection!
Objection! Objection! The quintessential look of a sacrifice. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. This has gone on long enough now.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, let's see. Escapades. I could have sworn there was... Okay, I guess first we'll go through the escapades. So yeah, I have no idea what these are, but I think they might be related. They might be something like, you know, like, I believe, like... Anyway, I should disable... Huh? What? What the heck? Just realized something that... For some reason I can't... Like, excuse me, give me a second to... Give me a second. Okay. Alright, okay. For some reason I can't turn off, like... Seriously? Seriously. Yes, remember for some reason I was logged out of my own chat. Oops. I think that was actually mine. Anyway, just... Okay, now... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Alright. Alright, now people can start talking in my chat. I think. Anyway, episode 1, Defendant in the Defendant's Antechamber. Anyway, yeah, spoilers about the first game story. Okay? Just look at my precious treasure now, man. Myself has scrubbed and scrubbed. The repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again. Well, but you have a great in your position, at least. You should be grateful, man. How dare you? Excuse me, but I'd like to get at that Zabaton cushion there if I could. Hmm? Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor. This is not over. It's not incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen for his priceless treasures. Watch that tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't. Sorry, Sergeant, but could I get that Zabaton cushion up there as well? Hmm? Oh. I won't go to jail. Never. Imagine if I did. The very next day, my boy would start without the chain of command in place to provide for him. Using the child to protect yourself? Myself, I call that absolute cowardice. Oh, really? Just to employ the old poor defenseless senior citizen tactic, The only way to fight enemies with using underhanded tactics is a fight tit-for-tat strategy. Sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get that Western-style cushion there on the sofa. Enough of this insubordination. What do you want, man? Oh, please, don't mind me. Aha! Do my antecedents was a wide-eyed criminal from the trial before. Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal, no. What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements of others, Why were you appearing under the cushion of this upholstered seat? Oh, well, the thing is... Hey, look, did you find it? Did you find it? No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. You really are a liability, Ryosuke. Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it? Yes, we were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when... I realized that my university pin badge was missing. A university pin badge, you say? Yes, from my collar here, you see? Affirmative. Uniforms will be kept in prime condition at all times. A missing badge is unacceptable. I thought if I looked around it would probably turn up somewhere. Like the old tale of the Coben coin and the stake. A parable of which I am acutely aware. But I'm exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it. Don't look at me, I don't just find any old metal object invisible, you know? Imagine what would happen if little trooper Ido here swallowed something like that. I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you with a new one. Yeah, that's the thing. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yeah, I don't remember my student number. I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Third, actually. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have a note of it somewhere. I told you that until I was blue in the face last time this happened. Yes, I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. It was you, was it? You can't even remember who told you that you needed to remember it. Well, student numbers are 6 digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits? Isn't that like basic? Yume isn't exactly a long-established university, you know. All our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help? Yonosuke, it's only 3 digits you need to remember. Just 3! Sorry, my brain is such a disappointment. Oops. Wrong quote. Wrong one. Forgot to put that part in. There we go. 29. Yes, but myself, I was greatly impressed with you in courtroom. Oh, you mean me? A lawyer already, before you even graduated. And such a loyal friend to this one. This one? What's that supposed to mean? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that's what brought me home to me in uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heels was spectacularly exposed by my best friend here. Indeed? What, by me? This is the first I've heard of it. Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer at the speech contest. The speech contest? Oh, that! Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. Yours was great, made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one, my opposition fell. When I reached the final act at last, I came up against you. Yes, you did. Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself, this cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. He's going to be a pushover. That's your version of not being rude, is it? Well, I paid for my complacency because it brought on that humiliating defeat. Defeat? How are your ranks compromised? My speech was going very well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when I came to the very last line... Yes, what happened to the very last line? It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up. Never! You mean you stumbled on your words? Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it. But what on earth did you say, man? Ryunosuke, you'd better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So rise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial piety? What? What does that even mean? And what went wrong? What indeed, myself, I see no problem with it. In that case, indeed, I the pronunciation of these paltry words. I invite you to say it yourself. Very well, then, I shall. Ahem. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for the filial... It's impossible! So arise, ladies and gentlemen, part I delivered perfectly. But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. At the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess! And that's when the audience started to heckle you. Arise, arise, they were shouting. Hell on earth. But then, of course, this man went on to deliver his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your mother with respect. Something like that. I mean, talk about stating the obvious. The fact is, I lost to that speech. Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it. Well, it is quite simple, tricky to say. I agree. That final fight for filial piety, especially. Ever since that day, I have this question whirling around in my head. Isn't filial have to do with parent or family? Filial. Ow. Oh, due from a son or daughter. Okay. Ow. Ow. I just bumped my elbow. Ow. Ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? I mean, it should never have been called filial piety in the first place. Yark! At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there. Well, anyway, having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How did you never trip up on your words? I inquired, and you just gave me a broad and simple smile, saying, "Speaking fast is my hobby." I mean, really, what kind of hobby is that? Do you think you could take your hand off your sword? Besides, it's just the way it passes time. After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. You're right, I really can't. Speaking fast is the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on. Well, you have to practice, of course, but there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Swift samurai sword swipe silently sideways. Ah yes, even a decrepit tongue in the eating frame such as mine can see its way around like that one. I've no doubt it's a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine what anyone would really struggle to say it. Isn't that right, Kazuma? Swift samurai sword. Ah! A blabbering mess of byword too. It's not just a samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's why I've been busy teaching Ido the finer points of sword play. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private. Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? And we got to that debate about family values at the sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember? Yes, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay. As usual, I remember it well. Oh, was it? In any case, I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this. My red Hachimaki headband. Huh? That's why you wear it? That of all reasons is why you wear it? Seriously? I'm sorry, Kazuma. Yes? You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What does your headband have to do with your oath? Because it will always remind me of the smug look on your face when you utter those tantalizing words. What words? You made another tongue twister? I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled! Mood. But in the end, I mastered it. Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Here it goes. Here it goes up. Red headband, lead headband, dead headband. There! Word perfect! You see. Word perfect, you see? Good for you, Kazuma? I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that, about the story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know. So I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail. Except after you died. Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but it can't be more than the shock you've given me just now. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it. Huh? It's just as famous as Swift Samurai Sword. So I can't believe you don't know it, really. It goes, red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread man. Wait, what? Bread pat. Ugh! It seems like knocked some wind out of that headband of yours. It's not too late, Private. You can always start wearing a red bread pan on your head instead. Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your Hachimaki. Why do so many words have to be so similar? So, looking forward to Great Britain then? Where you have to deliver speeches in court in English? I suppose I can always sell seashells on the seashore. Well, Okay, so these are a bit on the comedic side, I think. In a first-class cabin. Like, it transpires that another crime was committed aboard the SS Buria. The stakes are high as Sholmes and Stroganoff pursue the criminal, but there's more to the crime than meets the eye. Okay. It includes spoilers of that first game story. Okay. It's almost 2 weeks now since we left Japan. I can't believe how quickly time has gone. So our next port will be Shanghai. Who's there? Who could it be this hour? A detective. A detective? Who? A great detective. I don't get it. What is a great detective? If you would just be so kind to open the door. Oh, yeah, sorry. Of course. I hope these are canon, because Is something wrong, detective? Are you investigating a case? Wherever a great detective goes, great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil. Sorry, then I don't think I want you in my cabin. Under our very noses on the steamship, a terrible theft has just occurred. What? You noticed, I presume, the brief power failure a short while ago. Oh, yes, the power could be out for more than 10 minutes, though. Indeed, yet that was ample time for this wicked crime to be perpetrated. I see. Well, clearly, it's a case that needs investigating. Precisely. The culprit ran away in this direction, down the first-class cabin passageway here. Really, the thief came this way. I'm quite sure of it. It may have escaped the attention of the dim-witted crew, but not the great detective. To that end, I would be obliged if you would allow me to investigate here in this cabin. Well... How curious, is there some reason why it would inconvenience you to have your cabin searched? Inconvenience me? Well, I'd be lying if I said no. Oh... There's a stowaway in the wardrobe over there. It's just me in here, you see, no one else. So, you might perhaps want to focus your attention on the other first-class cabins. As it happens, you are the only first-class passenger at present. The other cabins are vacant. Oh! Did that rather tragic rumbling come to the stomach arise from within you, my good fellow? Of course, as I said, I'm the only person in here. It's not long until dinner time now, so perhaps we could do this afterwards. I do apologize, sir, but it is of first importance that the investigation is not delayed. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait, where did he go? Oh, frick. How did he suddenly move all the way over there? Yes, without a doubt. If the culprit were to be hiding in this cabin, it would have to be inside this wardrobe. I shall need to examine this wardrobe thoroughly. I presume you have no objection. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to decline. Really, you won't find any... Did those two rather tragic sneezes arise from your good self? Of course it did. As I said, I'm the only person in here. You have a curious knack of talking while sneezing, then. Twice, no less. This is going to be a tough one to argue. I was watching you quite intently, sir, and I assure you I saw no signs of a sneeze. Couldn't we ask about his nose? As I was saying, I shall need to examine this wardrobe. Quiet now, man. Hands up. Nobody hiding in there, it seems. What? You seem surprised. No, not at all. Yes, I am! He was in there for sure. I shut the door on him myself. More visitors? Who's this now? Excuse me. Oh, assuming Stroganoff. Sorry for disturbing. A crime has been committed on board ship. Yes, I heard. A terrible theft, apparently. How'd you know this? Ah, well, the detective here just informed me, you see. Detective? Yes, I assumed you must have asked him to investigate, Detective. Could you... What? Where'd he go? I must ask you to cooperate with investigating into this crime fully. Uh-oh, he's glaring at the wardrobe already. Ah! Well done, you found me! What are you doing hiding my wardrobe? My good man, I was merely assessing the practicality of concealment in such a place. And I would say, at a push, a human could survive for up to 5 minutes in that cramped space. Inosuke's been in there for a fortnight. Is he not human? Who are you? Shh. This is a moment of truth. The great detective is about to unveil the sordid details of this wretched crime. You mean to say... Yes, there can be no doubt that the culprit of this terrible theft did conceal himself within this wardrobe. What? Wait, but that's impossible. He couldn't have, because my best friend was in there the entire time, or at least I thought it was. How can we be sure of this? Elementary, my dear fellow. The criminal left behind the most revealing evidence. How else could you explain these 3 bones? What the? He's right. Look at those 5 bones in there. And 3 of them. Ah, the criminal has escaped this time, but I'll find him and crush him. Can I ask you something, Detective? Why, yes, of course. I'm always delighted to answer an inquiring mind. In this terrible theft, what exactly was stolen? Aha, what else? But some steaks on the rib bone. Huh, did you say steaks on the rib bone? Well, this evening's dinner, the 3 rib steaks were stolen from a ship's kitchen only a short time ago. And when my working was generator and ship was without lights for 10 minutes. Chef who saw criminal said he ran away down the first class passageway. And now I am on his team. I'm afraid to say, dear fellow, that your man is no longer in this cabin. But how? Through the cabin door, no less. Through the cabin door, no less. Having devoured his haul in his wardrobe, the culprit discarded the bone, and concealed himself behind the cabin door as you came inside. Then, when attention was turned to the wardrobe, he seized his chance to escape through the open door. What? Make haste, my good man, after the culprit. I shall follow presently.
Hold it!
Something troubles you, sir? I think maybe criminal is not running away at all. What are you suggesting? Now I know where the dog is buried, Mr. Osaki. Me? Da. When I think when I think you are culprit, everything is falling into places. The criminal that disappeared in first class passageway, the bones in the wardrobe. All clues are pointing their fingers at you. Don't be ridiculous. I would never. Yes, of course I established that at once that you couldn't be the perpetrator for this crime. Dead? Why? How are you so sure? My dear fellow, there are but 2 things in this world which one can rely on with total certainty. What 2 things? The first is the word of a great detective, and the second is the tragic rumbling of an empty belly. Not again! When I first entered the cabin, there did arise from this gentleman a belly rumbling so odiously tragic that it confirmed beyond all doubt that the man had not eaten a single rib steak in some time, let alone 3. I don't want to suffer this humiliation, but I've done nothing wrong! Curses! I will catch this thief. He cannot have gone far. Indeed, assuming he decided against a post-meal constitutional swim. Well, if you will excuse me now, my apologies for upsetting your evening. What just happened? Detective, one moment, please. Yes? That was the most remarkable deduction. Perhaps you're kind enough to tell me your name. Ah, it's quite slipped my mind. You'll be talking with the one and only Sherlock Holmes. I see. Well, I'm Kazuha Asaki. I'm a student on my way to Great Britain. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Asaki. Oh, and before I forget... Yes? I feel I should warn you, live cargo is strictly forbidden on this vessel. So you would do well to conceal the stowaway currently lying low under your bed as carefully as possible. Oh, under the bed? I bid you farewell then, Mr. Asaki. Heck. He's uncovered our secret. Suppose I should have expected nothing less from a great detective at all. Now then, when did you move under the bed? I thought we had it when he opened the wardrobe door. Well, it was thanks to that split-second chance you engineered. That I what? You distracted him for a moment, remember? When he suggested that he investigate the other cabins instead. Oh, yes, he turned to look towards the corridor, didn't he? Well, I couldn't see what he was doing, of course. But I thought to myself, it's now or never, and I knew next thing I knew, I was under the bed. You really know how to give me a scare, don't you? Anyway, what's all this about the ribsticks, eh? Sorry about that. I've just been so hungry. Ever since we left Japan, stuck in a tiny wardrobe, well, you should know you've been splitting all your meals with me. You must be sorry too, surely. Right on cue. And there was that power cut before, wasn't there, for about 10 minutes. So it was then. I caught a whiff of the most delicious smell. And I thought to myself, it's now or never. And the next thing I knew, I had the steak in my hands. This man just can't help getting himself into trouble. Well, alright, you were hungry, but 3 steaks? Thanks to you, 3 crewmen are going without, I imagine. Well, today, I imagine. No, it was just the one. What? I only took 1 rib steak from the kitchen. That's all. But I don't understand. Hey, I'm not that selfish. If I stole the 3 steaks, I'd at least have tossed one your way. I'm not your pet dog. Well, in that case, I'll steal the other 2. Do you think could there have been a ghost on board? Me loving ghost? There only been a single bone in the wardrobe when Rinosuke moved under the bed. Which means the other 2 bones could only have been put there by one very flesh and blood person. What's so funny? We're on a haunted ghost ship! A great detective or a great mischief maker. Either way, I think I like to spend a little more time getting to know that man. The great Sherlock Holmes. Oh boy. Alright, at the British Supreme Court. Rinosuke and Sasada brought the Lord Strongheart to report the outcome of Mr. Natsume's trial, and they're very flustered, like a Gregson attempting to solve a very taxing problem before his time runs out. Alright, story spoilers for the first game again. Here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice, cozy breakfast, but we have to have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially when we're guests here in Britain. I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. I suppose not. Is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop in this place. It's too silent for so good. Very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of a great clock as it keeps perfect time. Tick. Pitter-patter? What was that, I wonder? The unusual comforting sound of the clock seemed to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. You're right, something disturbing the rhythmical ticking. Sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post, clumsily. What are you calling unfit? Oh, Inspector Gregson, what are you doing here? What am I? Isn't it plain and obvious? 58 seconds remaining, Inspector. I'll talk later, sunshine. Morning, Lord Strongheart. Oh, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today. And good morning to you. Is this so early in the day? Oh, yes. Well, I mean, it's about the other day. Here to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsumi are now over. Ah, yes, the little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zeek's report. I must say, the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done. You were too kind, my lord. It's not here, it's not there, it's not over there either! I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the Inspector doing? He's been herring around between the bookshelves looking beside himself with worry. He's looking for a particular work, The Lion's Pride. Now there's an all-too-familiar title. I heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was. Nope, not there, not here either! Come on, where are you lions hiding? The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Inside 5 minutes. I must say, I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed. Ah yes, that's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome. Whose instigation? Let me guess, this stony-faced lord? And the 5-minute time limit? What's instigation? There is none. Just my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid. Oh, by your own admission. Ah! I can't. Ah! My fate. They're killing me! 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Ah! Which means that next month you will work unpaid and have no days off. No days off. Oh no, that is just I can't imagine having to do that. There really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming. For some, perhaps. I purchased every book, new or old, on the subject of law from all over the globe. Wouldn't have believed it a few short decades ago. A place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. Oh, I see. Western books are such a luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings. No, that's not it. Oh? There was a tax on paper, see? On paper? Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. There was tax levied on any kind of paper. So obviously that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all. I see. That's why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Strongheart. Indeed. Vestiges of the paper text system, you could say. The general public consider books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books. You couldn't hope to read all of that, even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times. Even I would choose to write a book rather than purchase it if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject of tax actually has has surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seemed that the window in his room was filled due to some kind of window tax. That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain. Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff. Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candles, beards. Wait, sorry, what was that last one? Did you say beards? Yep, the beard tax. Never heard of it? Never. Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow? You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important. But Naruhodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean. Paying them? You got that back to front, sunshine. But you can't deny you had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You'd never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Miss Asato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. What? No, you don't mean. Surely there's. No, but there's some similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there was frontage tax. What was that? It was a tax not on windows but on the entrance to properties. The larger the property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. That's interesting. I had no idea. So you Japanese are as twisted as Brits. But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really a step too far. Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least. What do you mean, at least? Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. Really, class? Prohibited beards? It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict. Wait a minute. That can't be true. That can't be real. That can't be real. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Beard tax. Oh my goodness. For some reason, beards were just something taxed all over the world. At some point, like, what the heck? Why do people, like, But why do the powers have to be, why do the powers that be want to ban beards? Because it makes people look self-important? Just an idea. It would seem that rulers in the East and West have very similar ideas over the years. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have? For example, though it was before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. There was a tax on those adorable, fluffy creatures like the ones who make sweet mochi sweets on the moon? Yes, and it was an extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then? Well, after Japanese opened its door to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji capital. A boom? Yes. Keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like colored chicks, I suppose. Hard to imagine, though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet when they thought one could bankrupt you. I mean, it's kind of like tulips. So in response to this worrying social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they just couldn't ignore the problem. And it worked, because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished. Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. But there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished, then, of course, society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. Oh dear. The government didn't think that one through, did they? Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you're responsible for the running of a country, you would feel the need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down in a drain. Well, yes, I suppose so, but... Well, yeah, but some of these taxes... That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the public. Novel ways? Tell me, Mr. Nahodo, if you were one of my country's statesmen... Me, a British statesman? Yes. What novel tax would you impose? Pray, give us something truly original. Inside 5 seconds. What? Oh, so that's something everyone uses, Mr. Nahodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. That's quite an intense stare, very Susana-san. I'm very glad Susana-san isn't in charge. Objection, chat? Your time is up. So, what's your answer? Well... Air, maybe? Yes, how about air? Hmm? An air tax, you say? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. Truly novel and fiendish idea. Well, everyone has to breathe, so while the population is inhaling air, my government is inhaling money. Blimey, you're tired at heart, eh? A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly not an original one. Nope. No, you mean to say... Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past? It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor France proposed it. What? Do I ever go for a visit? I'm holding my breath! Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either. Oh dear. Although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. Just an air tax? Like, okay. French air tax. Okay, eco tax on aviation. Okay, that's just... It's hard to look this stuff up, I guess. Oh dear, although clearly that would have made for an untenable situation. The public at large are a force to be reckoned with. Don't I know it. How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Let me see. My first thought is tax on objections. Sorry, been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens, so I think an objection tax could be very handy. Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public office. I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right. A most amusing proposal, Gregson. A most unamusing proposal, my lord. Well then, I think it's your turn now. Sorry, my turn for what? Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of the Lion's Pride. Oh, it's on one of the shelves in this room. Of that I am certain. Now I shall give you 10 minutes. Wait, what? And let's stake your student stipend on it, Fail to find the book and forfeit your next month's payment. Objection! Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. I'll leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves. This tax is going to be the death of me! Hey, yay! Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, good morning, Susie. Okay, I'll bring breakfast on the table for us all. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. Morning. Come now. Why the long face? Oh, sorry. The thing is, I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning with some rather strange things inside. What strange things? Ooh, what is it? What was it, Bruno? Do I catch a sense of mystery in the air? Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It was just 5 orange pips. can't imagine what it could possibly. What? Orange pips? No, but five of them? What's the matter with you? It's just a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? An overreaction, Mr. Naruto. You don't understand. That's a warning and notice of imminent danger to your life. What? To my life? What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes? My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me? Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours! Oh, you're right, Bruno. It says, sent by Sholmes, Envoy of Hell. So, my little ploy's been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruto, to the time of our dining last night. Oh, yes, Mrs. Sada cooked Japanese food for us. Indeed. In particular, you may recall the final norimaki sushi roll that I was about to savor. That is, before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and filched it from under my nose. Oh, I assume because you left it that you didn't want it. I left it, my dear fellow, because I had planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. Sure, you must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation of my right pupil. Perhaps a clearer sign would have been helpful next time. Just an idea. In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of my impending revenge. You should be quaking your boots. Really? Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit. There's no point saying a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it doesn't know what it is. Well, I knew, of course, because I read this book, The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookshops and receiving rave reviews. Oh yes, of course, it's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well. It is. 12 short stories in one volume. I've had a lifetime spending money already. And it's further bolsters my name, in fact. In fact, only the other day, a Bohemian king sought to engage my services. Really, that's extraordinary. Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. But only a fool would presume to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade. So how did you know that he was a king then? Why, there it though, my dear fellow, a distinct smell of fish accompanied the man with lovely apparel. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his mustache quivered in a quite manifest manner. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. That's simply brilliant. Having neatly resolved that case of the man, I was sent a quantity of fresh cod as a mark of his appreciation. I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger. Is that? Can anyone else smell burning? Oh, yes, you're right. And look, smoke. I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Really? A fire? We must all leave at once. Everyone, out of the building! No, wait, I have to go back to my room first. Are you deranged? You're not. If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death. But my Dharma, though! I can't let my Dharma burn! It means too much! Ah, drat. Sorry, but I'm going to make a dash for upstairs. You're so funny. No time for jokes, Iris. Go quickly, get out of here! But there is no fire. Is there really? Huh? Ah, what a delight to see the ploy enacted in the flesh. I wouldn't have dared to dream. I should be so lucky. Mr. Sata? Indeed with a ploy! My devil was engineered by my puckish spirit. It was all a trick? But why? It's a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruto. When his life is threatened, a fellow is compelled instinctively to protect that property to which he attaches matching importance. And that to your own life, Bruno, the most important thing to you seems to be your Dharma doll. Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? So, you know all along, Mrs. Sada, that it was a trick? Yes, of course. The very ploy described in this book. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. Odds down, all major London... Not again! I've used the device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case. Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay no attention to you at all. Yes, that's true. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes who cried wolf. I think there's a lesson to be learnt in there somewhere. But sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results this time. Iris was utterly unmoved. What do you mean? Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room. Nest egg? You think Iris had some secret savings? Well, naturally, the book is selling like hotcakes after all. Is some deduction indeed to conclude, the profits must be concealed here within these walls. Oh, Mr. Schultz, are you needing money? I bet you I know it is. It's the new microscope that's gone on sale, isn't it, Hurley? What else? I have such a strong desire to own one, yet my purse is 1 pound too light. And no offer of a loan has been forthcoming. I have been forced to resort to an alternate stratagem. Sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming from the Sholmes who cried wolf. Ah, how vexing. We shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old's savings, you know? My book is full of little tricks like that, you see. The armory of great detective. Except in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they? Oh, I have plenty more tricks up my sleeve. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley Mystery. I'm already filled with dread, just from that title. It is the tale of extraordinary skill on the part of a great detective. It's Shrekking! Shrekking? Arrived at the scene of the crime in the eponymous valley. There were footprints everywhere. While my eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular. Oh, Mr. Schultz, your detective instincts are truly remarkable. As you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of these eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints all the way to the man's place of residence. I led you directly to the culprit's house? What a triumph! You must understand. It led me directly to my own house, my dear fellow. Huh? For the footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes. Hurley had left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. And he followed his own trail straight back to here to Baker Street. Sorry, I'm stretching. And yawning. Now, Iris, please. You make it sound like almost humdrum. I assure you, it's no easy feat. Trekking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Herlock Sholmes. You're great. It really is extraordinary. Quite so. Extraordinary is the word. And let it be the last on the subject. Anyway, needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with various other deductions. Yes, if it's the various other deductions I'm interested in. Ah, well, you shall have to read the book then. I'm sure Iris has penned it with her usual flourish. Oh, absolutely! I put an ingenious spin on this great detective's exploits. And very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. Wait, does it smell like something burning again? We've had enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed. I assure you, this has nothing to do with me, or my spirit. What? Oh no, the smoke is getting thicker. You mean it's not a trick this time? There really is a... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Ah! Mrs. Otter, where are you going? Stand aside, Mrs. Otter. Easy, Mr. Sholmes. What are you... Mr. Sholmes? Why did you just chuck that busted Napoleon on the floor? Oh, look at that. Amongst all that broken porcelain, coins. Sovereigns, in fact. Worth a whole pound each. Everyone, we must leave at once. Evacuate the building. You fell for Hurley, hook, line, and sinker. Wait, you mean... Iris! I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you'd hidden it. Do you mean to say that the smoke was... My own puckish spirit needs to come out and play sometimes too, you know. What? Yeah, of course I don't. What? I know what it is. It's an indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after. I want one so desperately, but I'm 4 pounds short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before, I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room. Ugh, you have outwitted me again! You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know? So, thank you for the loan, Hurley. But wait. What's the matter? Where's Susie? She's disappeared. Oh, yes, that's right. She ran up the stairs before we could... Did she pack everything? Oh, what are y'all still doing here? We have to evacuate. It would be long before the fire is... sorry, Susie. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know, but it's all perfectly harmless. Harmless, maybe, but also devilish. Or devious. Oh, well, at least nobody was hurt. Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard. Now, tell us, Mr. Sato, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch? Sorry? Oh, no, nothing. It's just, no, it's nothing. Susie, that's... that's your notebook detailing all of Bruno's trials, isn't it? It's bulging at the seams. What? Ah, testament of the various people you've helped over the past months. Mrs. Sato, I am a judicial assistant, after all. I would do anything to assure the safety of these records, even risk my life if necessary. I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together. Aww, I'm getting all teary-eyed now. Yes, it's in stark contrast to a certain someone who would have fetched his Dharmadal, I must say. Give me a second, I'm gonna get some water. Okay. Alright, let's see, yeah, alrighty, yeah, episode 5, first game story spoilers, let's go! Hello, I'm back! Oh, hello, Mr. Naruto. Did you have a good outing? Hi, Bruno. Oh, what's the matter? Your eyes are as big as dinner plates. I wasn't expecting to see you here. I just made some tea, Mr. Naruto. Would you like a cup? A cup or two? Yes! Definite tea! Ha ha! Alright, Bruno, what's going on? You're acting extremely strange. What, me? No, not at all. Not at all. I'm as normal as no one could be. Normality itself. Not again, Mr. Narhad. Not again. Sorry. What? Not what again? What do you mean, Susie? Whenever he goes out of it on his own lately, he always seems to comes back with a peculiar new purchase. Peculiar? What's peculiar about the things I bought? You seem to think that anything British is a curio you simply must have. You keep buying items of bric-a-brac, even though you don't know what they are. Well, there are a lot of bric-a-brac shops and pawnbrokeries and the like around here. It's when I've been to Lord Stronghard's to give my weekly report. I'm always so nervous beforehand. On the way home, I just find myself in those shops and yes, alright, I can't deny it, I bought something. You're right, you can't deny it, because your eyes are wider than ever. You really ought to put up a warning sign about them. They're bigger than some potholes around here. It's harder to resist things in the bric-a-brac shops. It's also cheap! Mr. Shulman has given me lots of useful advice about how to pick out the real bargains. You must remember, Bruno, that Harley likes to have fun with you. Take his advice with a big pinch of salt. Oh, that's true. The thing he told me... Ah, frick. Okay. Well, thankfully, I just spilled my bottle, but thankfully, it only landed on a plate. Like, no water was spilled anywhere else. Nowhere else. Give me a second. Okay. Well, that's true. The thing he told me was a pot stand wasn't a pot stand at all. Like, but I never guessed it was a collapsible top hat. No, and I never guessed that you could fill it. And I never would have guessed that you could fill up this one empty room so fast. Honestly, it's overflowing with things we don't need now. I mean, look at those scales. Not once have you weighed something on them. I know, but ever since I first stood at the defense bench in court, I don't know why, but I just really wanted my own little set of scales. Let's see it then. Let's see it then, Mr. Naruto. What have you come with today? Oh, well, it's one of these. What is it? It looks like all dry and shriveled up in a ball. Really, Mr. Naruto, what is it? It's a sea anemone. An anemone? An anemone? Yes, I mean, I know it doesn't look like it at the moment. It's all shriveled up. But like you said, aren't sea anemones living creatures the ones that dance about under the seabed? Yes, exactly, the ones that dance about on the seabed. Oh, they sell sea anemones in bric-a-brac shops here in Britain. I don't know whether or not they normally do or not, but I do know that I bought one today. But why, Bruno? Well, yes, for the aquarium, of course. Aquarium? I don't know that word. Well, according to the shopkeeper, keeping sea creatures in tanks was hugely popular here in London before. Oh, yes, some people have some beautiful fish in seawater tanks, it's true. That aquarium became popular because the old glass tax was abolished. There it is again, rearing its ugly head at the subject of taxation. It was a real craze for a while. Everyone in London had one. For a while? Yes, it didn't last long. People's enthusiasm soon waned. It's just too much work to be changing the seawater regularly in a city like London. Never a truer word said, I'm sure. You think people might have realized that from the start, really, wouldn't you? Aren't you gonna put it in the water? Anyway, that was long before I was born. So now everyone jokes that there's an unloved aquarium covered in dust in every attic in the capital. And it's true. There's one in this attic too. When I told the man in the bric-a-brac shop about it, he had these words of wisdom. That's why this is the age of the sea anemone. And that's why this is the age of the sea anemone. And that made a lot of sense to me. It made sense to you, didn't it? But Bruno, this anemone is completely dried up. You just need to soak it in water overnight, and it'll be good to do. That's what the man said. I'm not sure it works the same way as dried wakame seaweed. As I save up the money, I'm gonna buy some prawns to keep this little fellow company. Oh, how exciting! You're off to be king of life. Will it really? Britain is a funny country, though. I mean, sea anemone craze? Well, they say people in glass houses about comments like that, Mr. Naruto. But don't forget that there was a very curious rabbit craze in our own country not so very long ago. A mortifying chapter that people will try to erase from the history books 100 years from now, I'm sure. You know, there was another craze as well before the aquarium one. Have you heard of Wardian cases? What? What? No, I've definitely never heard of them. They were little glazed cases for growing plants indoors. Oh, I see. For plant lovers to raise their favorite tropical plants. That's right, like different types of ferns. Ferns? Do you mean those rather dull plants with lots of fronds for leaves? They're not dull at all. Ferns are lovely plants. I think people wanted to recreate the exotic foliage of the tropics in their own homes. So they grow ferns? I mean, ferns, and sea anemones. Londoners certainly have a knack for the obscure. Well, thinking about it, my grandfather loved the moss on his bonsai. He looked after it after it better than the trees. It seems like the more obscure something is, the more it interests people. I mean, there's a niche for everything. Maybe. Anyway, the warding case craze didn't last very long. Now most of those little glass cases are just gathering dust, I think. But haven't I seen one in your room, Iris? Oh, I am sorry, you, Susie. That's right, mine's certainly not gathering dust. I grow tropical herbs in it. Well, Mr. Naruto, we must ask you to stop all this frivolous buying of strange things. Yes, alright, sorry. It's just that, well, take a look at Mr. Sholmes' room. He has all sorts of peculiar trinkets lying around. Oh, well, yes, that's true. Seem to be growing. Recently, I've noted a blowpipe, a few barrel crystals set in a twisted piece of gold, a gold-rimmed pince-nez? Pince-nez? Oh! It's those kind of glasses. Oh, okay. It's the kind of glasses that are only attached by the nose and there are no ear parts. Gotcha. Spotted a gramophone record in there the other day, so I slipped it onto the gramophone. But it was just a whispering voice saying, "No worry," and nothing more. What could it possibly be about? Those are all mementos of cases that Hurley solved over the years. Exactly! That's what I want to create in here, that sort of atmosphere. A room full of meaningful trinkets, each with their own unique history, you mean? Yes, that, I need you to understand, Mr. Sato. But, Mr. Naruto, none of the things you bought for the case have any connection with any of our cases. Oh, don't they? Well, for example, take that splendid but rather beaten top hat. That wasn't used as evidence in any of the cases we've worked on, was it? Oh, so you have two top hats if you count the collapsible one as well. No, the collapsible one is a pot stand, as far as I'm concerned anyway. But the other day when we were in court, they were everywhere, weren't they? Top hats, I mean. Well, here in Britain, of course, they're the mark of a true gentleman, and it's highly inspiring. If a man isn't wearing a top hat when he ventures out in the doors, he'll look down upon. Gosh, it has very strict rules, doesn't it? The English Gentleman's Code. I've been wondering how I'd look in a top hat recently. After all, my university uniform is black as well, so I think it would be very in keeping. Oh, what a good idea. Go on, Rona, try it. Are we actually gonna see it? Are we gonna see this? Oh, I don't think we're gonna see it. The lesson here, I suppose, is that the juxtaposition of student and gentleman is just so strange and wrong. I'd rather it didn't suit me anyway. I mean, these hats are ridiculous! I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees one of these for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why is that man wearing a chimney on his head? People in glass houses remember Runo. What do you mean? Well, what about Japanese chanmage top knots? Those haircuts are the height of ridiculousness. True. Unless you can take the hat off. Once you have a chanmage, it's channed your head for good. I'd be willing to bet every foreigner who sees a chanmage for the first time thinks exactly the same thing. Why is that man wearing a cannon on his head? I suppose that's what it means to have different cultures, isn't it? Ain't that true? On the subject of hats, the one Mr. Sholmes always wears is really very strange, don't you think? I beg your pardon, Mr. Naruto. But what a thing to say! That has the very essence of Mr. Sholmes. Yes, without his deer stalker, the great detective would be unrecognizable. It's called a deer stalker? That's a super swanky name. It's a hat of a hunter, just like a flat cap. I made up my mind a long time ago to visit Regent Street and buy one for myself. I'm not sure it's going to fit over your hair. Well, I think it's perfect for a great detective who stalks his criminal quarry. What do you think is strange about it anyway? Well, you've seen it. It has two brims, one at the front and one at the back. Why do you need two brims on a hat? Surely one at the front is enough, no? One moment, please. If you ask me, it's just Mr. Sholmes' madcap personality coming through. I bet that's why he doesn't have. So he doesn't think about which way to put it on, or something like that. Mr. Sholmes does not have a madcap personality. He always has a clear head. Deer stalkers were made for hunters who have to hide in the thickets when they were stalking their prey. The brim in the back was designed to stop the stalks of plants scratching the back of their necks. Oh, so that's the reason. Thank you, Iris, for educating us. Mr. Sholmes doesn't spend a lot of time in the thickets, though, does he? Well, no, that's true. I'm telling you, it's just his impetuous personality. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it firmly. Ah! Here you all are. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Sholmes. I've not long since made some tea, Mr. Sholmes. Would you like a cup? I see I've gone at a good time, Mr. Sato. Thank you. Now, I have something I should like you all to see. I've designed myself a brand new great detective's hat. What the? There's a brim at the front and the back and both sides. Observations is quite correct, my dear madam. I'm a busy man, you see. 4 brims in total. But with this hat, whichever way I put it on, I shall always have it pointing the correct way. Oh. With my previous hat, I could, in an impetuous moment, wear it erroneously with the brims on either side. That's impressively clumsy, I would say. And I must regretfully say I think your madcap theory was correct after all. But really, Mr. Sholmes, with brims on all 4 sides like that, wouldn't it just be better to wear a top hat instead? Oh yes, then however you put it, you'd have a brim all around. What? So true, so true! I've been so blank into this fact until now! Well, fortunately I happen to have 2 top hats here. If you just lift the pot off of it, you're welcome to try that one in there. Indeed I shall, my good fellow. Much obliged. Oh dear Hurley, it looks terrible, more terrible than I could possibly have imagined. Oh, that's not good. Maybe it's because of your long face paired with a tall hat. It just doesn't work. Well, I think it's very nice, Mr. Sholmes, even if it will have the whole world in a fit of laughter. Ah! Never meddle with it. Give me a deer stalker forevermore. And give me my regular university hat forevermore. There's still hope that you'll graduate one day, Mr. Naruto. Don't give up. So, Mr. Natsume, are you really returning home to Japan? Yes, indeed I am. Everything is arranged already. Well, it will be sad to see you go. Dr. Runa worked so hard to prove your innocence as well. Twice. What a shame. It feels like it was all a wasted effort. Don't say that! I know what you're suggesting! Now calm down, Mr. Natsume. It's all fine, really. You're on good company here, sir. If you feel the Reaper, you needn't hide the fact. I'm a proud citizen of the Empire of Japan! I'm not a scaredy cat! Talking of cats, Mr. Sholmes just casually threw one among the pigeons there. A man like me belongs in Japan, not me. That's what I've come to realize. I wonder. A mustache such as yours is eminently suited to London, I would say. There goes Mr. Sholmes throwing another cat in. Meow! The moment I arrived at the city, I noticed Everyone in London laughs at me behind my back like hyenas. The circle, hyenas, hi, horribly. I'm sure that's not true, Mr. Natsume. Oh, but it is. Whenever I turn around and peer down the fog-filled streets, all I see is foreigners everywhere. Well, there's you, Bruno, and Susie in here, so that's 3 foreigners out of 5 people. I take your point. Only the other day, I was taking a stroll through the fog as usual when a young man approached me from ahead. He was pale and gaunt, his back arched like a cat. Observing his wretchedness moved me so deeply. I thought to myself, I'm not the only one suffering in this hell. But do you know what? Can you imagine? It was just my own reflection in a shop window! A stunning, stinging, stupefying surprise! Don't forget slap in the face! Everyone started laughing at me. Gentlemen went thereabouts, ladies passing by, even the man in the shop window! Yes. A certain great detective would like to be included among the mirthful. Ah! Mr. Sholmes was really going for Sasaki-san today. Well, I, for one, think you're a very handsome man, Mr. Natsume. There. Did you hear that? His 10-year-old girl thinks you're handsome. Isn't that wonderful? That makes me feel suspiciously warm inside. He looks genuinely delighted. The point is, we Japanese are humble and modest. Studying on foreign soil, surrounded by foreign people, how could anyone possibly enjoy that? No one could, it's impossible! If you're genuine Japanese. If you say so. Actually, it would appear that there is someone. A Japanese man who studied in a foreign country and seems to have thrived on the experience. There is? Mr. Ogai Mori. I believe he studied in Germany. Mr. Mori. Pray, tell us more of the fellow. Well, today, he's a very successful author in Japan. Oh, I've heard of him. He's a professor who wrote My Hime. Is it? My Hime? I suppose in English the title would be Dancing Queen, maybe? Oh, I see. A tale of women who waltz way through the world, perhaps? You really needn't make up a silly translation, you know. It's officially called The Dancing Girl in English. It seems Mr. Mori greatly enjoyed his time in Germany. He became close with a local lady while he was there. Close, you say? With a local lady? A compatriot's criminally contradictory conduct! Oh, well, I suppose your experience of studying abroad depends on the large extent on your character. As they say... Many minds! Mr. Mori has an open mind, Mr. Natsume a closed one. Possibly a slightly black and white view, do you think, Mr. Sholmes? Well, anyway, if that's how you feel about being abroad, why did you choose to study here? Was it to further our nation's understanding of the English language or something? Yes, that's right. So what were you doing in Japan before you came to Great Britain, then? I was a school teacher. Of English, of course. A bit cursory perhaps, but I managed to discover some information about Mrs. Natsume's teaching days. That's just a little outside the field of law, isn't that, Mr. Sato? Well, let me pose you a question, Mr. Naruto. If you had to translate the English phrase, I love you, into Japanese, what would it become? Daisuki? Daisuki desu? Or Ashiteru. Ashiteru or Suki desu. Wrong. According to Mr. Natsume's teachings, at least. What? Would you like to explain, Mr. Natsume? Uh-oh. Yes, of course. Your research has been very thorough. I used to tell my students that we Japanese don't express ourselves that way. Rather, we might say... Suki ga kiri desu ne? My dear Mr. Natsume, I must interject. Suki ga kiri desu ne would translate as, the moon is beautiful, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Wow. I know that! The point is that we Japanese are reticent when it comes to expressing our emotions. We prefer to show our feelings of adoration or suki by by appreciating the beauty of the moon, or tsuki, or tsuki. Using the suki to express suki. It's an amusing play on words, I see. No! Or in language you I just better understand bad shows! It's not a play on words, it's subtle, it's humble, it's fleeting, it's beautiful! It's art! Is this being shy? My dear fellow, the foreign dancing queen, dancing girl, will forever be out of your reach with such an attitude. Poor guy. Imagine how great Mr. Mori would act. He would win the lady's heart in a flash, with a well-placed and unrestrained, I love you. That's smooth, Mr. Mori! If I just live in his shadow forever! Just what sort of man is he in that imagination of yours? The fact is, I can't settle in this foggy London town with all its foreign inhabitants. I've lost count of the number of different lodgings I tried before I found myself here. As it happens, I even lived on Baker Street at one time. No, really? A Sao scholar lives there, a name by the name of William James Craig. His knowledge of Sao is unsurpassed. He's been a great inspiration to me over the. Forgive the interruption, but am I supposed to be familiar with the Sao of which you speak? It's Shakespeare, of course. It's of course Shakespeare, but in Japanese, we write it as Sao. It's a phonetic representation of the kanji characters, so England and kanji characters, so England is Igirisu, and America is America. America. Come to think of it, we use the same character in Ri in one word and Risu in another. Talk about confusing. So Shakespeare is Sao in Japanese. So presumably the Sa is a brutal attempt for the first Sha, in which case where's the K-spear? I never thought of that. We only have the O left. Which could, even in the most charitable interpretations, only be brutal attempt at old man. It seems to me that whoever had the job of deciding on the characters for his name got bored very early on. Complete kanji! Character! Catastrophe! So then, on the burning question, what about me? How do you write my name? Sorry? Herlock shows, my dear fellow. There must be Japanese characters for my name. Oh dear, I'm sorry, Mr. Sholmes, but none exist that I'm aware of. What? Am I really nothing to you, Japanese? In that case, it's a matter of paramount importance. You must construct my name in kanji at once. Oh, well, you could use a kanji that's pronounced so to start with. So, and then use one more to give so, or perhaps. I think that would be right about right, Mr. Sholmes? But that's almost the same as Sao, isn't it? Yes, you employer dreaded. Oh, I don't want people to be with an old man who died centuries ago. I'm sure the world's greatest literacy figure would rather not be confused with you either. Well, the world's greatest detective is still youthful and full of vigor. So how about it? So handsome. Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. And I'm sure everyone will be calling you that 100 years from now. Yeah, totally. How could she say that with a straight face? What about me? Perhaps Ahime, since the second character doesn't seem to matter? Ahime? Oh yes, Princess of Love. That's an adorable name for you, Iris. Stop, please! Who is with a name like that? Mr. Mori is more likely to turn up at any moment and rush to declare, I love you! Mr. Mori thought had become quite a character in Suzuki's mind. You, Mr. Naruto, might have mentioned Kurobozu as a fitting name for you, as in Dark Monk. Oh, that's very good! That describes you perfectly, Bruno. So you think I'll be wearing this black varsity uniform for the rest of my days, do you? Do you ever change out of it? I think not. But Mr. Naruto already has a Japanese man name. I don't believe he needs another. Well, anyway. We were talking about your life here in London, weren't we, Mr. Natsume? You should go and have some fun. The landlady has said as much to me too, Mrs. Garrideb. But it wasn't fun at all. It was frightful. Whatever you mean. Ah! A cycle incident! An incident? On a bicycle? Oh yes, come to think of it. Yeah, there is a bicycle out there, so, there's an old bicycle park just outside, isn't there? It's in a sturdy state, though. I tried to say no to her, but she insisted I took it for a ride. As my pronunciation was wrong. So I took my life in my hands and attempted to ride the steel spider-webbed stallion to a nearby park. I really don't think there's anything wrong with your pronunciation, Mr. Natsume. Nikbike. Joan Garrideb just isn't the kind of woman to take no for an answer. If you're going to die, you might as well die in a beautiful surroundings. So the park was my first thought. After a whole day of dicing with death, I emerged with only relatively minor bruises. So you got the knack of it. Don't be silly. Dying isn't something you can learn to do. Mr. Natsume, you keep talking about dicing with death and dying and so forth, but riding a bicycle is supposed to be fun. Oh no, that's just what people tell you. That's an old wives' tale. Is it? I mean, just consider the real name of the vehicle. It's not called a dicycle for nothing. Okay, I wouldn't expect to use such an aptly named vehicle to move forward. Forward is beyond me. Pedal, power, promises paid! I don't think it's possible to get worse with practice. I'm lucky to be alive! Although I must say, after looking death in the eye for a whole week, I did at least manage to mount the steed reliably. And notwithstanding a few wobbles, I found I could make progress in the forward direction. What a triumph! Deduction is much the same. When first presented with a problem, the mental exertion of trying to solve it leads to only to bitter disappointment. After a week of picking one's way carefully along the path of reasoning and thought, one begins to see results. So is that why all of your off-the-cuff deductions always seem half-baked? What a wonderful insight into your extraordinary mind, Mr. Sholmes. Unfortunately, after wobbling down the street, I noticed there were some stones everywhere, death traps. Not that way, I said to myself, but the wild vehicle wouldn't listen. It wobbled on me down the street. So of course I hit one of those deadly stones and the crazy colt threw me. Just my luck, bicycles are the epitome of my pitiful life. I wish I could disagree. On the same subject, I'm sure there are a famous American author who have written about having a similar experience. Oh yes, I've read about that essay too. Some of us are better read than others. Well, no more bicycles for me. Oh, Mrs. Natsume, at least you have an interesting anecdote to take back with you to Japan and nothing else. You always manage to put a positive spin on things, don't you, Mr. Sato? Personally, I haven't mounted a bicycle for some time. No, me neither. That's good. So how about a jaunt? We shall all ride together. Huh? That sounds great. I'll brush behind Mrs. Sato. But the sun is going down. It'll be pitch black before long. London street lamps are very bright, you know, and the fog isn't too thick today. And my beloved ride is all bent out of shape. My dear fellow, if you are bound to topple the vehicle anyway, it's fitting that it's already bent out of shape. Let's settle then. Come on, Mr. Natsume, shall we go? Don't tell me that's his translation of no thank you as well. Indeed, Mrs. Natsume, the moon is at its most beautiful at precisely this time of in the evening. Oh. We're not Japanese, you can't beat around the bush with us. What a weird and wonderful world! Hooey. There are a lot of these. On Briar Road. Are these just all about the first game? Wait, William Robbins? Huh. Didn't notice that. Oh, hey. Sir, Constable Rolly B, reporting for duty. Thanks for the good offices of all Van Zigs. I'll back up on my beat in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London. Sir! My Rolly, back in his Bobby's uniform. You couldn't look any more handsome if you tried. My love, you say the sweetest things. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. To us, Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper of the Bailey at all. Oh no, of course not. He's the patron saint of Bobby's. The patron saint? Oh yes, Pat. So you're so right, my darling. Keeping us in pocket he is. My first day back in the job, what did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love, a whole shilling. Oh, Rolly, I always believed in you. I always knew one day you'd find some big, small change. With just that shilling, I could buy you a cheap bunch containing a single flower, my sugar. A single flower? Oh, how romantic. But I'm so sorry, Pat. Only a moment ago, that shilling disappeared. It disappeared? But how, my love? How? I think maybe... No, I'm sure. Sure? There's a girl there, sir! You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you, you cheeky little diver? Blimey. You took your time getting around the way, didn't you? I thought that lovey-dovey stuff weren't ever gonna end. So, a shilling you say? Little from you wear it? Don't know nothing about it. Where's the evidence, eh? Right there, the evidence is dancing around on the back of your hand, young lady. You stole from me, you lifted it from my pocket just now. You got a nerve stealing from a bobby. Harmless, this coin's mine. How could you know anyway? How could you know if it was taken just now or not? Dear me, you don't get it, do you? We've hardly get a penny to our names, and that coin felt heavy to me as a bar of gold. Eh? I'm telling you, the moment it left my pocket, I knew it. I felt myself get a few pounds lighter. Yeah. Yep, that coin, it's got my blood split and tears all over it. What's the matter with you, eh, Mr. Nada Otto? Me, sorry? When ladies and gentlemen, a true gent's supposed to be there. They help straight away, not an hour later. This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything. And what about you, Ace Holmes? I thought you were supposed to be a great detective. Dear me, Miss Lestrade. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never going to end. And you always said, give us a minute when we spotted you over the road and said hello. And that was 10 minutes ago, Ginny. You've just been standing here listening to a quarrel with this Bobby. Good thing, well, man, we shouldn't be troubling the public with police business. That shilling belongs to us, doesn't it, Rolly? Of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling. Yeah. This was supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Shaw before afternoon tea. Why'd we have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road? I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to if it was just dropped in the gutter. I wouldn't be so sure of that, Bruno. What? I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin that is. Come, my bright young fellow lodger. Let us hear your deduction. Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road. Oh, what reason? You see, well, I was here yesterday, and, well, I dropped a little something, so I wanted to come and look for it. while enjoying an afternoon stroll. Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean... It was the pocket money that Hurley gave me. What's this, Ira? You dropped that, did you? I'm sorry. I went to the market on Lime Street yesterday to pick up herbs, you see, but on the way, I must have dropped it. The 1 shilling coin you gave me. Oh, one bit. Yes, and when I thought back over the route I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Constable, you haven't seen it, have you? All my pocket money, it's gone. I'm afraid I don't know anything about that young lady. What rotten luck dropping your money like that. Sorry. I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your money with their white eyes. If it's all the same to you, Mr. Sholmes, I think I prefer not to be used as a yardstick for looking guilty. Well, it's off it, innit, Iris? You dropped it so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say, what goes around comes around. Don't feel bad. Bad luck, Iris. It doesn't look like you're going to get your coin back. Oh, I can't believe I lost it, and straight after Hurley gave it to me as well. Yes, regrettable indeed. I seem to recall that particular coin was rather significant. What do you mean significant? To be specific, it was especially significant to you, Bruno. Significant to me? You don't mean it was the coin for the last night's wager. The very same, my dear fellow. What was this then? What wager? It was a game of poker. A duel between Hurley and Bruno. Poker? What? That trigger card? What? A trigger card game, you mean? As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. You'll never be able to tell what I'm thinking, he said. But depriving Mr. Sholmes of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. So infuriating. Reliving it now, it still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, I had every intention of paying you back the money I owe you, but you'll have to wait, I'm afraid. Yes, I know. Don't worry, next month is fine. Let me guess, Autumn. Your whole fortune is 1 whole shilling, my entire monthly stipend. And I lost all of it. As I handed it to Mr. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so my gums started to bleed. Please, Bruno, don't exaggerate. That's a horrible image. What about a lawyer who borrows money for a 10-year-old girl? Now that's a horrible image. I feel like my reputation with this couple has just fallen through the roof. There are few things more invigorating than taking a man for all he's worth. Don't be so pleased with yourself, Hurley. It's not as if Bruno ever had a chance of winning. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Well, using that special ink I developed, anyone could. Thank you, Iris. That'll do. I'm sure this conversation is proving quite dull for everyone. Well, what's done is done. The game is over now. Over now, there's no point crying over spilled milk. Or spilt milk. Special ink and wow, son, that sounds like a sort of risky business right up my alley. Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. And you'll laugh in the face of danger. Well then, I will spill it. What's the special ink about, eh? Ah, well, it's sometimes called invisible ink. All I have to do is write a certain number on the reverse side of every card. And with the aid of some special glasses, the whole game is laid bare to you. Wait, you were wearing glasses last night, weren't you, Mr. Sholmes? You said something along the lines of, my eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened. The moment you failed the question, the odds was the moment I knew I had won the game. Mind games, was it? Trying to throw me off with your eccentric ways. Shouldn't it have been obvious? So you telling me Sholmes could see every card with auto add? But that's not mind games, that's blatant cheating! My dear fellow, what an accusation! Would you honestly consider me a cheat? Please, I prefer a trickster. You calling the game doesn't count now, I understand, Mr. Sholmes? Dear me. Well, out of respect for the bad grace with which you take defeat, allow me to return your shilling. Did you hear that, Gina? So give it here. Eh? Leave me out of it. This here one bob bit was mine for the start, no question. No, sir. That was one bob bit lifted from this here Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago. So you can't say it. Come on, then. Where's the evidence? Eh? The law, right? It's all about evidence. I know my stuff. You see, Mr. Nahuddle, use a trite excuse in court, and others will parrot it. Only whenever I do say that in court, it is a trite excuse, you know. As I said, sir, that court has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. That's right, it has. Rolling blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence. Blood, you say? In that case, it's time for this. Do you think... Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll soon know about it. Originally, hold very still. What? Look at that. See that on the coin? It's clearly changed color. In other words, there's blood on this coin. Once again, I said so. That would be my blood, sweat, and tears. Ooh, wait. I've seen blood turn this color before. Yes, I know whose this is. I know whose coin this is. Well, the rightful owner of this bloodstained shilling is... Bruno. Huh? Me? And from the appearance of the blood, I would say it's quite fresh. Left within the last 24 hours. Within the last... then, in that case... So, this is the coin what Sholmes ate off Otto last night in the poker game. Oh, Bruno, do you mean you really did make your gums bleed? I told you, I was so infuriated, I literally had to grit my teeth and I handed over the money! Blimey, you're as odd up as me by the sound of it, but I thought you had a proper job. Come on, Gina, you hand it over, would ya? The shilling, that's rightfully mine. Fine. Alright then, just stop your bleeding staring. I finally have it back. It's like a dream come true. I nearly had the one in the bag and all. That's wonderful news, Bruno. I'm so happy for you. Now then, as you promised. I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I let you before. You just said that you pay it back out this month's pocket money, didn't you? Oh, yes. And I suppose. My dear fellow, do be kind with your gums. Looks like that shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir. For some reason, the phrase "serves you right" is floating around in my head. So, Iris, I promise. Here is the shilling I owe you. Oh, you're repaying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though. What's it all about anyway? What are you lending auto money for? Yes. Well, actually, it's because I went to the live street market yesterday to buy herbs. For Reno. Herbs? For Reno. Yeah. The tea Mr. Sutter left behind is top quality Gyokuro tea, but it's just so bitter. So when Iris suggested mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy me some. That's right. We made a special Japanese herbal tea with the leftover Gyokuro. I'm gonna call it Sushi's Special Blend. I do hope you all try it. The excruciating bitterness clings to the throat if you can persuade the bright green gloop to leave your cup. Why, it sounds quite delicious. Yeah, right. Well, it would appear that this shilling's brief adventures are at an end. Adventures? You must agree, my dear fellow, that coin has made a considerable journey since last night. I see. Originally, it was the coin I was supposed to give to Iris to pay for the herbs, but then in our poker duel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Sholmes, who gave it to Iris as spending money, but then dropped it here sometime yesterday, and my beloved Rolly found it a little while ago and picked it up before it was lifted from my pocket by this dear diver. then I used my favorite gun to show off the blood that was on it, and let slip about Sholm's little scam in his god game last night. The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruhodo, allowing me to pay Iris the money I owed her after all, for the herbs she bought in order to make Susie's special blend tea. And now, after all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket. Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? Yeah, you're right, that was an adventure. But what are we supposed to take away from it, eh? That this 1 shilling coin belongs to Iris and Iris alone, I think. I cannot fault your observation, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, you know what they say. What goes around comes around. Why do I get the feeling that the Iris knew it was coming around to her from the very beginning? Priceless, as they say. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in a bitter tea and a bitter rematch? I'll even allow you to stake the coming month's spending money in events. If I fold. I fold. Yeah, I did now. But seriously, you should have seen it coming when he started wearing glasses. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, time for the last one. In the Bailey. Holy cow, this is... We've been here for 2 hours now. Uh-huh. What in the world? This court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This is the most extraordinary case of murder, counsels. I assume I may proceed? Yes, my lord. The defense is ready. At your discretion, my lord. Very well. I hereby call on the prosecution to introduce the case. The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Indeed, in the now famous address of the number 221 B Baker Street, was it? The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure infamy for its grim crime. Yes, sir. Well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rosie, was found asphyxiated on the ground accused's sofa. My word.
Objection!
But it's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rosie somehow vanished herself out of the room completely. Vanished herself, counsel? The victim? Quite true, my lord. There is but one adjoining door between my drawing room and the kitchen. Yet having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. There was nobody else present. Ordinarily, my fellow lodger Iris would have been at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. I'm afraid you'll have the propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really, it seems to be entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite. As it happens, my lord, the door to the accused's room was locked at the time, from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with a considerable surety that the victim did not leave via my front door. But what about the, aha! Yes! She could have snuck out through the window.
Objection!
The windows in the room were not locked, it's true, and the victim had the opportunity. However, there was snow all around the building outside, and not a patch of it had been disturbed. Would my learned friend care to explain how much the victim could have left without leaving a trail? So the victim, Madame Rosie, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed. Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman, who resides in the attic room above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. I can confirm that the defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes has said. When we reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there. Well, yes. You see, I was just in my office for a while, having got back from some important business. And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we traveled back to Baker Street together. At the time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we made. Do I take it then, Counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place? No, my lord. I went straight up to bed in my own room in the attic. Inspector Gregson, however, was met with a most blood-curdling sight. On Mrs. Sholmes' sofa, the vanished Miss Madame Rosie, motionless. So the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector? No, my lord. Not dead, but not far off it. She mustered all remaining strength to say these dying words. That Rotter Sholmes would be the death of me. Yes, I overheard that remark at the time, too, delivered in a raspy voice full of menace. No. Those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there on the sofa. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. Pray, does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes will be the death of me. Damning departing words indeed. In her final moments, the victim named her killer. You, Mr. Harlock Sholmes.
Objection!
The defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. Perhaps you could tell the court, Mrs. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was. Ah, yes, of course. Did I never mention her to you? I extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. The most trivial of matters quickly became a quarrel. I was too pleased to leave her presence to make tea. Great. It would appear that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing his aristic guest permanently.
Objection!
Putting that tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysteries surrounding the case? I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remains a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance leaving no trail of footprints, for example. That's right, the crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here. Nonsense, what have I overlooked? The man in the dock, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There is no crime beyond the realms of possibility, no mystery beyond my powers of reasoning. So, Mr. Sholmes, you'll have no difficulty in explaining how the crime thus described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name. But of course, were I to put my mind to the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. Please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? What I need to say is, no, not even I can't think of a way a crime like that could bleh. Let the accused's admission be noted by the court. Let the crime appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity. This man alone claims to know exactly how it was done.
Hold it!
But now hold on, that was a very fragile argument. Thank you, counsels. I believe I've heard more than enough to proceed to my adjudication. He is a great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosie. I therefore find the defendant... Let the man be taken from this court, and in some equally inscrutable manner be sanctioned for his crimes. Close adjourned.
Hold it!
My lord, please. The truth about the mysteries surrounding this case are known to another besides the great detective. What's this? Upon my word, Mr. Nahuda, you are coming along wonderfully. You deduced a fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Which would be, detective, that the truth to this case is known only to the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Gregson? Well, I suppose, yes. You don't mean, are you seriously, Mr. Sholmes? That you have an idea as to what actually happened in that night? An idea, my dear fellow? I could explain the entire incident from start to finish, but not a single detail omitted.
Objection!
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Pray, Mr. Reaper, which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation, I wonder? Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. If so, how exactly did the Madame Rosie disappear? Why, naturally, via the window. It was ajar after all. But that can't be. The room is a whole story above street window, and anyway, no prints were found in the snow. There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely, such as flying, for instance. Are you kidding me? A fatuous notion. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes? Is it not entirely plain? To the culprit's abode, of course. Or having left my suite, that is clearly where Madame Rosie was murdered. Take a moment to consider the true irony, if you will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death.
Objection!
Do you forget, Detective, the victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa? No doubt because her killer carried her back there. But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again then? There just weren't any. Other than our own, from when we returned home ourselves. By our footprints you refer to your own and mine. You are quite right, but there are those of another. On the night in question, there were one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. What? Good gracious! Whom do you refer, sir? A man whose somewhat unavailing presence at the scene, crime would be questioned by no one. Unavailing? You don't mean... Indeed I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon learning of the incident at Scotland Yard, namely... You, Inspector Gregson! Yeah? When you arrived at my address on Baker Street, you were carrying a half-dead Madame Rosie with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity, and then laid the victim on my sofa. He did what? What?
Objection!
We were with the inspector when he arrived. How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? We would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of its many pockets. I fail to see what makes this detective great, but I can say one thing with great certainty. A human body cannot fit into the pocket of an overcoat. I believe you all may have fallen foul to a rather insignificant misapprehension. What? Madame Rosie was not a human. I beg your pardon? Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruto? Something troubles you, perhaps? Whatever gives you that idea. Exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosie? Is it not apparent already? A parakeet, of course! Huh? A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. A parakeet? She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Want to turn every conversation to a quarrel. I thought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. You had a quarrel with a parakeet. But of course, why else would she chosen to fly from my window so uncordially that evening? To the abode of the inspector, here beside me with no less. To Inspector Gregson's abode. But why? Because that was the parakeet's home, naturally. What are you... The inspector was called away from town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. But it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper, thus prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explained. Give us your account on what happened that night, sparing no details, of course. Inspector Gregson? It was an accident. I got back from being away that evening, you see. I just walked through the door to my office. I never imagined Madame Rosie would be on her way back to the yacht as well. I slammed the door shut behind me just as she was trying to fly through. Oh no! said Madame Rosie. She got sandwiched between the door and the frame and fell to the floor, never to move again, because of me. Well, I never. I had to do something, and just when I was trying to think of a plan, you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry, so I stuffed her in my coat pocket and got in a cab with a pair of you. Yeah, the parakeet with a pair of you. Bleh. What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Lord Strongheart, sir. What? Lord Strongheart? Did I hear that? You're the Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. She delivered the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. But apparently the other birds had started to pick on her. So for the past 6 months or so, I've been caring for her in the office and at the yard. I see. If anything happened to that bird, just imagine. No pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You'll mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. That's why well... The victim's dying words, Inspector. The court had heard her earlier that Madame Rosie spoke in the name of her assailant on her deathbed. That Roger Scholes will be the death of me. Indeed she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector? Clearly, you speak of me often at your office of the yard in this disparaging manner. A manner that has the Mary Parakeet looks so much delight in mimicking. Well, come on, have you read this month's edition of Red Megan today? Sorry! This is all absolutely true. Yeah. Something wrong with Love on Zakes? No, nothing. I almost drifted off for a moment there. It's hard not to drift off when you've been kept waiting 3 hours already. I wonder if we'll manage to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. We may have to deliver the report up on the Winterbank case that he asked for the other day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? Ah, Madame Rosie, you mean? She had a narrow escape, but she is still alive. I delivered her back here not long ago, actually. Our Lord Strongheart's orders. He's up and the pigeons will accept it now. It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office, especially as we're all in the misapprehension that Miss Rosie was a person. Sorry about that. It was Lord Strongheart's demand that... Oh, good, you're here. I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. Oh no, my lord. No, please don't trouble yourself. Nothing gives us greater than standing here doing nothing for hours on end. Heartening. Now, so let's hear it then. Your report. The Winterbank trial has concluded, but this is far from over. It seems that dark Far Eastern lawyer and I have some shared destiny. We will meet again, of that I have no doubt. Did you see that, Lord Van Zakes? Did you? Madame Rosie went flying off among the pigeons there, happy as Larry she was. Really, Inspector, you must be relieved. Hey, hey, look at that, we got it. We got an ace aficionado. Woo! Alrighty then. I wonder how many of these there are.
なるほど龍之介の罪深き7日間第一夜。
The trial of defendant Ryusuke Naruhodo. The council's for prosecution defense ready to proceed. Judicial assistant Susanna Makatama for defense is ready, my lord. For the prosecution, I hereby Sholmes naturally stand in full readiness. And I naturally am not ready for this at all. I don't even know what I'm supposed to have done! No, that's right. When I heard that Mr. Naruhodo was in trouble, I hurried here at once. I have no information about the charge brought against him at all. I haven't done anything from the Great Eight's attorney at the... I just want to keep a low profile, keep mentally prepared. Mr. Naruhodo, your brazenness knows no bounds. You call yourself a defense lawyer, having committed no less than 7 crimes of most serious nature. Wait, 7 crimes?! What are you talking about, Mr. Sholmes? Until everyone had been fully examined in the courtroom? I will not stand down from this bench. That's what I'm talking about, my dear fellows. You realize the prosecution counsel bench, don't you? I don't believe you should have stepped up to do it in the first place. Thank you, counsels. Now let's see the charge brought by the prosecution. Said there are 7 charges against the accused, we heard, and 7 consecutive trials this week. This evening we shall examine the first of those charges, the most disturbing crime. What crime of what does Mr. Naruhodo stand accused? Of leaking information, Mr. Sato, as you well know. Huh? Leaking information? I still remember it clearly. The words out of the accused's mouth last night. The topic of the conversation turned to the greatest attorney to be released next week. You recall, I presume, what blurred from your lips? But it was something like... I can't believe the great attorney goes on sale next week. I can't wait for what he introduction Mr. Schultz calls out with next time. Precisely, there you have it, my gripe in a nutshell. The great detective's appearance turned to be a surprise. I didn't want it to be common knowledge shared with all in sundry. To speak upon it so I can't read it so fast! Really? Mr. Sholmes' curious deductions, both undeniable spoilers! I think it's like it's reasonable to say that it was simply information, not spoilers. Your apprentice Sholmes entirely anticipated. In fact, that alone may account for many people's interest in the title. All of like surreptitious is in word. Like seriously, the background, Mrs. Sato? I can't read it this fast. The hardest are some sentences. Ugh. Okay. I'm actually gonna like call it here for tonight. I'm actually kind of tired right now, so I'm actually having a hard time staying awake right now. So I, I guess we'll next time we'll finish up the bonus features and yeah. And plus it's gonna be more time to figure out what I'm gonna do for my next project. So yeah. Anyway, let's go. I'm just gonna go and Hey, what are they doing? Okay, yeah, that's weird to say.